Is advanced unbalanced? I asked this question in a community post and you guys seem to think that it is slightly unbalanced. But why is this? Are the maps too easy? Too hard? Well, no. The real answer is all of the above. However, to properly talk about how to fix it for future editions, we need to examine the problem and where it originates. Which, funnily enough, might actually explain the issues with certain intermediate maps. Let's talk about it, but before that, make sure to like and subscribe for more content in the future, and if you simply aren't convinced to yet, then I hope to change your mind from here. Now, it's no surprise that BTD6 has a lot of maps with varying levels of difficulty, and a new player can easily get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of ones to choose from. Thankfully, the BTD6 gods blessed us with a way to tell the difficulty of maps, by categorizing the maps in a way that makes 100% sense, if you don't go to the Advanced tab.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
Seriously though, Off the Coast is barely an intermediate map and I don't know why it's in advanced. This is the problem with a lot of advanced maps. If I were to draw a graph for the map difficulty for all the tags, then the beginner section would look like this, the expert section would look like this, and the advanced section would look like... Now, while this may seem a little confusing, there is a legitimate reason to why the expert and beginner sections are pretty consistent in difficulty, while the advanced and also, while not being as bad, the intermediate sections are pretty inconsistent. That being, it's way easier to rank black and white than it is to rank light gray and dark gray. Making a beginner map can't be any easier. Just make the track long enough for a marathon runner to get tired on it and don't add any gimmicks that harm the player. Meanwhile, all you have to do on expert is either add 500 different tracks for the balloons to move on, or add a gimmick that makes the map near unplayable. But advanced doesn't have such an easy rule set to follow. It's one of the only ones where you have to actually focus on balancing the difficulty. While doing research for this video, I watched AceBomb's video on how map difficulty is decided. And while I do think the system can describe most of the maps, it ends up contradicting maps that even came out as early as the initial release of the game, like Off the Coast. I think it's more likely that they predetermine the next difficulty that they want to add another map for the next update, and then they base the difficulty around the difficulty range of maps in that category. But when the range between the easiest and the hardest map in advanced is wider than the space between the skull and the brain of the person who decided to put Off the Coast in advanced, you begin to see a problem. Assuming that this is the way the map difficulty is decided, I think the simplest way to fix this problem is to simply lessen the range between the easiest and the hardest maps. This range can be placed anywhere. It can also change depending on how you rank the difficulty of the maps. You could be a little more lenient and place a range here, or be more strict and place it here. But in my opinion, I'd place the range here, with Underground being the easiest advanced map and Mesa being the hardest. Dark Path is just not difficult enough in my opinion because its weakness is too easy to exploit. AKA just throwing AoE attacking towers on the map and letting them go ham. But again, this is just me, so leave your opinions on where the difficulty range should be placed in the comments. Anyways, please like and subscribe as it really does help me make these videos for you all, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.